Hello, and thanks for watching Proactive New York. I'm joined by Bryan Lewis. He's the CEO of IntelliCheck. Bryan, very good to meet you.
You too. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So for those viewers not familiar with the company, can you tell us about IntelliCheck?
Certainly. IntelliCheck is an identity validation company used by some of the leading banks in the world and over 20 state-level law enforcement agencies to make sure that government-issued IDs are real so that they can be sure that you are who you say you are.
So tell us who your customers are. You mentioned banks, obviously government, other industries as well?
Certainly. It's a large amount of industries. The majority of the revenue comes from large banks that provide instant credit or loans or want to make sure that your account isn't being taken over in their bank branches. So they're going to use us to authenticate in those spaces. But we're also in everything from property management to automotive dealerships, big presence in age-restricted products. Again, anywhere I need to know that you're either of age or you are the person you're pretending to be, because identity theft is a $52 billion problem. And that's exactly what our large clients are using us to stop, so they're not getting hit with those losses.
Okay, can you take us through the platforms you use and how the technology works briefly?
Yeah. So for the most part, our large clients, they're using our API and we're embedded in whatever system they're using. So for example, if you go into a retailer and you forgot your credit card, but you want the points, they'll ask you for your driver's license and the last four of your social. Now, the crooks use that to steal because it's cheap to buy that stuff. Your information, $8, a fake license that is totally realistic, $100 to $200. They will scan the license using our technology. We're now going to say that this license is real, bad, or expired, and send it to the bank so that they can decide, yes, Bryan has an account here and he is real. Or the same thing in the account opening. Scan the license, populate the application, send it to the bank. We do it in 19 milliseconds. The crediting process takes about 30. Usually credit has been issued before they can get the merchandise in the bag.
It looks like you've had quite a few big contract wins recently, as well as a number of renewals. So in the first half of this year, two major renewals completed. You signed on a new California-based digital bank, and you also began a security audit for a top 5 bank. Do you continue to bring more customers on board?
We certainly do, and in all sectors. So we're growing very rapidly in the age-restricted space. That's a smaller, sale, but lots of them a month, so that ACV builds up. Large banks are definitely much longer in sales cycle, and then you have to go through the security audit. But the business people, once they see what we do, they're very excited about it and can't wait to get it in. And the best part about selling those large banks is, large banks compete with each other, but when it comes to fighting fraud, they work together. So our top clients will speak to their competitors, in the credit card or banking space, even though, maybe they're losing business or might lose business to them. They know that they're going to stop crooks if they put us in, and they look at that as a global initiative.
And so imagine this must lead to strong recurring annual revenue. So I noticed you had a presentation recently. Software as a service revenue growth more than doubled between 2019 and 2021. And that really makes up the bulk of your revenue, doesn't it?
Yeah, we do hardware only as an accommodation if it helps our clients. We're a SaaS company. That growth, we're hiring a lot of more salespeople with knowledge of the industry. So, I've tasked my team with increasing the rate of growth. So, we're looking forward to that. The other thing is, our retention rate is phenomenal. Our churn is around 1%, and that's only because a bar or restaurant went out of business. None of our top 50 clients have declined to renew. And in fact, all of them have had price increases. So we're very sticky. And I think it has a lot to do with the efficacy of what our platform does.
So your most recent numbers, second quarter SaaS revenue up 21%, gross margin 91%. Is that something you can replicate as the year draws to a close?
Yeah, certainly margins. We don't see any reason that they really should go down. We spent money last year to, I'd say, upgrade the system, the back end of it, make it so that it can handle the volumes that I expect to be coming in. Now, any new expenses that we'll be bringing in really going to be related to sales and marketing, again, to help that rate of growth increase.
And how about the outlook and where you're seeing opportunities at the moment, Bryan? I noticed that you ended June with cash of about $12 million on your balance sheet.
Yeah, so right now I'd say organic growth, certainly the way that we're looking. There's always bankers bringing things to the door. Right now, I think that we're better served by focusing on our core market and expanding in that space. We've got a lot of competitive advantages when it comes to what we do, namely no new hardware required, unlike what our competitors would be to do something on premise, which makes us a very easy, low cost solution to implement. So I just want to, make hay out of that, that group that we can target, which then leads into everything else that they do in the digital world. I think it's kind of a mistake. A lot of people seem to think that IntelliCheck is purely an on-premise product, but a lot of our revenue and a growing amount of our revenue comes from the digital world. I think what people need to remember is that the vast majority of transactions are still in the physical world. They are growing into the digital world, and all of our clients who are using us physically are moving us to anything that they're doing digitally, because crooks will look for the easiest place that it is to steal.
Bryan, I hope you'll keep us posted on any progress, but thank you very much for the introduction today.
Thank you for your time.
Bryan Lewis is the CEO of IntelliCheck.